Humans aren't born out of laying around on their asses. We've been born out of conquering a world. We're the dominant species. We built all this. We're powerful and we're beautiful and we're ready to build the next level of civilization in God's plan. But you must stop bowing to those who want to make you a victim. You must become the victor. If you love God and you want to build a pro-human future, then you are an enemy of the New World Order and Satanism. They want us shut down because we have the spirit. I'm jacked into the source. I know the secret, and I want to see you empowered. But you have to believe in yourself first. This is the truth, and everyone knows it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. So, Assassin's Creed Shadows is not being received well. I think that's a generally true statement, but it could not be more true in the home country of the game, Japan. And by home country, I don't mean it was made in Japan. I mean the centerpiece of the game. It takes place in feudal Japan. But the Japanese are having none of it. They hate this game. And rightfully so. This game is an abomination. It's an amalgamation of Western left-wing degenerate ideas that most people around the world despise. Yeah, it's just, all around, it's terrible. But we're going to watch the Japanese government respond to this. And I think this is a very, very, very interesting situation.
Didn't explain about Asakura Ishii, right? Because everyone knows.
Oh, so he's basically what he's saying is that it's so well known he doesn't even need to explain it. Yeah, okay.
3月20日にですね、発売予定のフランスの UBI ソフトの株式会社制作の
Okay, well, this also kills my theory that it was actually them discussing live streaming because he's discussing Assassin's Creed explicitly, right? So it actually wasn't about live streaming. This is actually about Assassin's Creed.
のアサシンクリードシャドウ
That's what this is about.
ついてなんですけど、海外で
Overseas,
先行
though,
プレイの動
early
画が
gameplay videos have already
YouTube で
popped up on
アップ
YouTube.
さ
I
れており
watched
まし
them.
て、それを拝
And
見
here's
い
what I
たしますと
That video that
Uh-oh.
went to really viral.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that there's a lot of people.
Oh, shit.
See, I think the way that you handle this situation, if you're a competent game company, is that you have a Paragon and Virtue system. You know, Paragon, Virtue, Renegade, Bad. And so if you desecrate a shrine, if you do things that are bad, you generate bad karma. You generate, like, demonic energy. But the problem is that you're able to desecrate these places and do these terrible things, and the game doesn't actually have any sort of mechanism to reinforce what's good and bad. Mass Effect has this. Dragon Age Origins has this. Knights of the Old Republic, all those years ago, they had it. A lot of these games have a mechanism by which the game tells you what the right and wrong answer is, and you can choose to play accordingly. If you desecrate this temple, there should be a consequence in the game, whereas you maybe lose the ability to return to town, you get arrested. You know, something happens to illustrate and elucidate that this is not an acceptable behavior.
Little F? Yeah, we had a little bit of a hiccup there. Here, let's watch it again. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get back to it.
Video that went to really viral.
Here it is. Oh,
And I
man.
was surprised that
Bro,
there's
he just tore that shit
video
up.
that
One more
went
time.
to really viral. And
Bro,
I
he
was
went in on
surprised
that shit.
There's a lot of people who think
There it
that's
is.
okay. I think most of people doesn't know that's that shrine and altar. I guess, but a lot of Japanese people feel offended about that video.
板手
Yeah,
ショ
sure.
ーズシュラインと実名で私の兵庫県の姫路市の入間の国奏者板手氷津神社が登場します。ゲームの中でですね、主人公の
The main
侍は
character is
刀を
samurai
振っていま
swings
し
a
て
sword
拝殿
inside
内
the
で
prayer
太
hall,
鼓や
smashing
神教
drums, altars,
祭
and
壇
sacred
を粉砕
objects.
しまして
He shatters
そし
them
て境内
and
にいる
slashes at the
向こうの神
villagers
や
in the
神
shrine.
職と思
And
しき
what
人
it
物
looks like
などを切り
priests
つけ
cutting them
弓を撃
down,
ったりするよう
even
な
shooting
乱
arrows.
暴
It's set up
狼
so you
藉が
can
できる
commit
ように
these
なってい
violent
ます。
acts.
Yeah, that's the things. They can just disable, but they made it object that breakable.
私はこ
Yep.
の話を聞いてですね、ちょっと地元の
They
神社
sure
でもあ
did.
りますので、直接宮司さんにお話を伺いました。
The chief priest,
当
the
該ゲ
game
ーム会
company
社から
never
は
reached
神
out,
社に
not
対しま
once
し
to the
て
shrine
名
about
称
using
の
its
使用
name
許
or
可
getting
などの連
permission.
絡は一切なかった
Nothing at all.
ということでありま
That's
す。
what he said.
他にも
On top of
奈
that,
良の
places
東大
like
寺などの
Nara's
寺社
Tojai
や
and other
古墳
shrines,
などの
ancient burial mounds.
いわば
Oh,
具
oh,
体
I
的な
forgot. This is another very important component.
True.
That
Looting.
you get to wear. Isn't one of the pre-order bonuses of Assassin's Creed Shadows that you get the ancient family emperor's armor with the emperor's seal on it?
Yeah.
Oh, robbing Imperial. Let me see. I just want to show you guys this here. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's been revealed that players will be looting the tomb of an ancestor of the Emperor, sparking controversy in Japan. So the Disiro Kofan is the tomb of Emperor Nintoko, an ancestor of the current imperial family.
These people are
So
retarded.
Yasuke can
I
steal
swear.
armors. Yeah, there it is. Can steal armor from the imperial family's tomb.
Whoa, 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 you're reading that right. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, it's been revealed through the art book leaks that you will be getting trophies for looting the Emperor's tomb. That's right. Ancestors of the current imperial family are up for grabs. You can steal the sacred armor of one of the most earliest Japanese emperors in history as Yasuke, a foreigner. Now, I get it. The West doesn't have
Oh,
respect
God.
for their culture, so it's perfectly
That's
fine
great,
to slap
isn't it?
George Washington in a Challenger and have him tear ass in
Yeah.
the field somewhere. But in Japan, they have a reverence for their culture, and in fact, they're known the world
That's
over
crazy.
for this. So if Ubisoft is in fact creating a very accurate game and a game that respects the Japanese culture instead of lecturing to it, what the hell is this?
Well, I don't know what it is, but yeah. So that's what's being referred to right here.
映像とか肖像がですね、
Their images
無許可
like
で
this were used
使
without
用されて
permission.
おります。
That's
本日
happening
はですね
too.
大串正樹
I'm Masagi
経産
Uzoshi,
副大臣に
Vice
お越しいた
Manager
だ
of
い
the
ておりますが
economy, joining us.
国内外問わず
Globally,
ゲ
the
ームを
number of
楽しむ
people
ユーザー
enjoying
という
these
のは
games
年々
is
増
keeps
加しており
growing
ます
every
が
year.
ゲーム等に
But
お
when
け
it
る
comes to
固
games
有
using
施設の
footage of
映
specific
像などをで
places
すね無許
without
可で
permission,
使用す
I'd
る
love
こ
to
とに
hear your
ついて
thoughts.
ご見解をお伺
What
い
do
し
you
たいと
think?
思います。
経済産業省
So
大
this
串
is
大
the
臣
Prime Minister.
This is just kind of insider note. I know some people that send me this video.
Yeah.
So they didn't use word of Yasuke. Can't talk about it that detail, but something really scared concerns me. It's that there's an unspoken rule. You cannot cause other trouble to other ministries. I heard they can't use word of Yasuke in here. If we were Japanese, I think this is one of the biggest concern. And they decided to not to mention about Yasuke.
Okay.
That's what they told me. But my concern is that which ministry get trouble if they use word of Yasuke in here? As a Japanese, that's one of the biggest concern. What's going on, really?
I mean, like, I can definitely understand it. And it's kind of like, oh, Jesus. Let me think of a way to explain what this is kind of like. It's like you are a soldier in World War II and, or like somewhere around in that era, and you're not even from America, but somehow you get sent over to fight in World War II, and there's like a subplot line where you can fuck Eleanor Roosevelt. Really? And that would be pretty fucking weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty odd.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a lot. Games outwit, yes.
お願いいたしま
It's
す。
just a
一
game.
般的なゲーム性
It is just a game. The thing is that I know it's just a game, but it to me it's funny. Like like I'm not Japanese, and I think the reason why a lot of people are talking about this is that the premise of the game is set basically like the game came out and it was released and it was expressed to the public as if it's like, oh, well, it was done almost in like a patronizing way. I think that a lot of people felt where this game gets made, it gets put out there, it has this storyline that's obviously exaggerated to like, you know, like a power of fucking 50, right? And then they're trying to like virtue signal basically with having
Right.
this stuff in the game, and people find it annoying, right?
Right.
And so if the story from the very beginning was about a fake character, and like for example, I've been playing, as I said before, I've been playing Rise of the Rohirrim. This is a very good game. I really enjoy this game a lot. And they have a historical character, Matthew Perry, in the game. And so Matthew Perry is I think he's from America. I don't remember exactly. And he's from this game, and he is a honorable, reasonable, good guy. And he's not like a stupid, like moron. Like I feel like he's respectful in the game, right? And so, because it's like the idea of like colonial Japan, and there's like a bunch of other stuff. So the problem isn't that you're using historical characters. The problem is that you're using historical characters and then making an argument to authority of their authenticity.
Right.
That's, I think, what really annoyed a lot of people. Does that make sense? That's what annoyed a lot of people, is like you're making this argument to authority like, oh, well, we understand this. We brought in cultural experts and we're telling you this.
Right.
That's it. And so
It's
it's a
part of
Team
it.
Ninja game, though, right? Yeah, exactly. And it's disrespectful actions. Yeah, exactly. It's degrading the native characters. Exactly. And so, yeah, to be fair, and I'm not defending Assassin's Creed, the third game makes Washington a villain in the DLC, and no one said it was disrespectful to the birth of the U.S. So the reason why it's not a problem for them to do that, and you also fight the Pope, and it's also not a problem, is because they never presented the game as any form of historical context in a way that, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but as soon as Yasuke was announced as a character, everybody was like, what the fuck? There's not even certainty that this guy was a samurai. That's not even what's going to happen. It's also their own culture. And that's another thing too. And so, and this goes into like what I was saying, is that in like Western American culture, it's much more okay to make fun of Christianity than like, I'd say Judaism, Islam, or Hinduism, right?
Well, we're looking to change that. We're looking to change that, because that shouldn't be a thing. But he's right. He's right about most of it. I think that he's talking about one specific element of it, but I think that overall, what he's saying is true. And the fact is that people are disappointed because they would have loved to have this game be good. They really would. But it's a combination of things. It's the dishonest nature of what they're trying to do. It's the inclusion of woke and DEI elements into the game. I mean, the marketing for this game has been abysmal. Their response has been abysmal. The news story that they're, hiring lawyers to go after critics didn't help them at all. But more to the point, having a black man in a feudal Japan video game is inappropriate. It just is. And doing it in the way that they did, not contacting anyone, not showing any deference or respect, using their iconic icons in inappropriate ways to sell merch. This was done in one of the most haphazard, illogical, and disgusting ways possible. And these subhuman, degenerate, bottom-feeding, left-wing, narcissistic freaks are being called out and vilified for that, and rightfully they should. The Canadians and the French should feel humiliation for this. This is embarrassing.
And it's not as okay to make fun of those because that's not our culture, right? So like it's very different when you have a culture that's satirizing itself versus a culture that's satirizing and seemingly appropriating another culture. Do you see kind of like how the difference there is? And it's the same thing as like, it's like the implicit thing that you can make racist jokes about your own race. I think this is very, very established, right? I do it all the time about making jokes about white people. Somebody else does that and they're a different skin color. People are going to get mad about it, right? And so, yeah, that's it. And it's travesty. Yeah, exactly. And so that's I think the reason. I think it's the argument to authority that people had. The main reason Japanese are boycotting this game is the foreigner killing Japanese is culturally insulting to them. Really? I thought they just didn't like the combat. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not our place to tell another culture what should and shouldn't be offensive. Well, you can do whatever you want. Like, you have the right to make something that's offensive to Japanese people, but you don't have the right to do that and then make the argument to authority that you're doing it and it's historically respectful. You can be disrespectful, but don't go and act like you're not doing that.
Right.
That's the difference.
政策におきまして現存する固有名詞等を商用利用する際にはその知的財産を有する個人や団体等に許可を得る必要があるものと認識をしております。知的財産を無許諾で利用されているケースにおきましては個別の事情によるものであるため当事者間で協議されるものと承知をしております。その上で神社側等から相談がございましたら関係省庁と連携しつつ適切に対応してまいりたいというふうに思います。
It's payback for Pearl Harbor. They're French.
Yeah.
They weren't even there. No, they're French.
Yeah.
That's not even it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
加田博之君。
ありがとうございます。今の答弁ありましたようにですね、やっぱり無許可で使用するということは本当にいけないことだと思いますし、本当にこのことについては私もしっかりと注視していきたいと思っています。それでですね、それに伴いまして昨今、コロナ禍の影響もすりまして観光客が
Oh boy. Bro, they about to make Japan a private server.
Damn.
Straight up.
Yeah, retards ruining it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't blame them.
Let's see if
Just because they can do that because
And getting their clips
これ
world.
が現実世界で模倣される
Could it inspire
迷惑行為に
copycat
つなが
nuisance
るんではないかと懸念しております。
Oh,
先
So
ほど
like
の
half of this is stupid, but the reality of it is true.
Yeah.
Is that it's not Assassin's Creed that's causing people to go over to Japan and treat it like a PvP server.
True. Yeah, I can sort of see what they're saying that, some retard like Johnny Somali would definitely go to Japan to film himself desecrating the temple for content. I completely and totally understand. I completely and totally get that, yeah. Yeah, that is something that would happen.
Even though it's a PvE server. No, that's not what's happening. It's not Assassin's Creed that's doing that. It's live streamers that are doing it. And I guarantee you that as soon as they saw one person going over to Japan and getting clout and getting their clips posted around for being crazy in Japan, a bunch of other people went over there to do the exact same thing.
Right.
So like it's not a pipeline of like video games translate to real life behavior. It's real life behavior translates to more real life behavior. Logan Paul easy. I don't think it's because of Logan Paul. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't want to come off like a Logan Paul defender here, but let's be real. He did a really stupid thing. He apologized.
No. I disagree with Asman here. I think he was the progenitor of it. Absolutely. And keep in mind, a lot of people hyper-focus on the suicide forest. But a lot of people forget the majority of that video was him doing the same sort of things that Johnny Somali and them do. I remember in particular, there was a moment where Logan Paul he got a fish from a market, like a stand, and he was, waving the fish around like a retard. But then he walked up to like a taxi, and then he put the fish on it, and the taxi drove away. Like, no, I definitely think that Logan Paul played a part in the nuisance streamer culture, and he did apologize because he had to. But I don't think he apologized because he learned a lesson and regretted it. I think the only thing he regretted is that he was getting people who were mad at him. So no, I don't take Logan Paul off the hook for even a fraction of a second.
For it. And as far as I know, he's never really said or denigrated Japan since then.
Oh, well, yeah, but he did a lot while he was there. And he recorded himself. And I think that definitely sparked people to look at that and go, oh, okay, I can go over there and act a nuisance and people will watch me. I definitely disagree with
Like
that.
he did apologize. Like, and the big difference there is that a bunch of these other live streamers never apologize.
なければいけません。
At the same time,
だが一方でで
there's
すね
this culture
長い間
that's been
地域
nurtured
の方々に
by
培わ
local
れた
communities for
文
ages.
化
We
に
should
対しま
approach
して
it
敬
with
意を持っ
respect.
て
Yeah,
接
of
す
course.
る。その土地の
Disrespecting that
文
culture,
化を
that's something
軽ん
I
じる
think
行為は私は
need to
慎むとい
avoid.
うこと
Remember
は
that song? Try that in a small town, brother.
Try that in a small town.
See, the thing is, like, we have the same thing here.
Anyway,
We do.
Ladies and gentlemen, you get the point. They're talking about this. They're talking about this, and yeah, I think that Ubisoft should absolutely feel ashamed. Like, their game is so bad that the Japanese government is talking about it in the same way they talk about nuisance streamers. That's pretty bad.
A samurai, and it's like people are like unsure about this guy's like place in Japanese history in general. One of the main historians that was about him was completely discredited.
I can tell you one thing that I know about Yasuke. He was not an intellectual gay man. The way that he's depicted in the game. He was not gay. He was not engaging in homosexual relationships. And he was not some learned, like, oh, I'm the most brilliant, I'm the most intelligent samurai to ever exist. Yeah, that didn't happen.
And now he's hooking up with the sister of one of the more well-known people in Japanese.
I want to take this picture here. I get it. It took me a second. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Assassin's Creed Black. Take out the L.
History. I feel like that's kind of a lot, isn't it? Yeah, that really is a lot. And so I don't know what to say. The wiki guy was in the beginning. Yeah, exactly. And so a lot of it is fiction. I know it's fiction, but the problem is that they argued it from the perspective of being
it's
like
historically
authentic, right? Like Yasuke, the entire argument for why Yasuke is the main character is because he was a real person. And you understand that, like, whenever you make that your argument and you make the argument to authority that, yes, it's okay that we're doing this because he was a real person, and then you disrespect everything else, people are going to think that it's a little bit fucking transparent. Right. So that's what I would say. It's still a video game. Yeah, it is just a video game, but
Anyway, it's him talking with his audience. Yeah, this game has angered a lot of people. It's a disgusting, amalgamation of bad ideas. Ideas that should have been stopped at the round table, where they're all sitting together shooting ideas. Hey, you know what? It'd be a good idea. Let's have a black samurai in the name of inclusion. They should have all just had a good laugh and then been like, Johnny, get the hell out of here. Like, or probably Samantha, Regina, Michelle. Like, Michelle, get out of here. Like, that's a stupid idea. Go get the coffee. No, it's a terrible idea. It's a genuinely bad idea. It's atrocious. You had a golden goose, and you killed it to make chicken nuggets. So, congratulations, Ubisoft. Your reputation is mud. You've you've tarnished Assassin's Creed more than it already was. And people are online making fun of you because your game's a failure. Your ideas are failures. It's incredible to observe, to behold. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.